Hey, it's Brian Mudd, and I am testing the sideways version of the iPhone 5's camera here because it's even more narrow when I do it straight up. So this is take two, test two on the iPhone 5 camera system. All right, so 2012 early voting. We're going to be on a pace for a new record percentage and overall number of Americans that have actually voted by the time we actually get to Election Day. In fact, get this. Based upon early voting ballot requests, 40% of the entire country will have voted by the time we get to Election Day. And in swing states, as you might imagine, there's even a bit more excitement. You see that swing states are pacing the country in terms of early voting ballot requests. In Florida, for example, the estimate is that 50% of us will have voted by Election Day. This means many different things. Some folks are already voting right now. Obviously, what's already happened is the only thing that matters. The other thing is, you're unlikely this year and going forward in future cycles, as long as this trend continues, to see October surprises. In other words, if the campaigns really had something on the other, they would have already put it out, because you wouldn't want to risk losing 10, 20, 30, 40, potentially 50% of the benefit, so to speak, of your surprise about the other guy, or girl as the case may be. So, in other words, the debates are likely to be the only real thing, aside from some other world event, that could change the perception of us with these candidates. So the cycle, it's definitely changing. Florida, we're definitely going to be, watch this closely as ever, but the exit polls Election Day, think about this. If half of Florida has already voted, the exit polls are only going to be telling half the story that day. In other words, if this is the close election that pretty much everybody outside of Quinnipiac thinks, we're not going to know anything until the votes have actually been counted election night. Business sentiment. This is not a good story, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I always believe that it's better to be living in reality than not. Business sentiment in this country just hit a greater than 3-year low yesterday. The latest business sentiment survey for this month shows that a quarter ago, 20% of businesses were considering layoffs within the next 3 months. We're heading into the holidays here, right? Remember, it's supposed to be this great holiday shopping season and everything? And maybe it will be, so maybe retail does well. But get this, 34% of all companies are now planning layoffs within the next quarter, up from 20% just 3 months ago. Overall business sentiment, we haven't seen this since we were actually still in the recession. And the number one reason cited, we've been down this path many different times, uncertainty, and the number one immediate uncertainty. What happens with the fiscal cliff? Are we going to go over it? How is it going to impact my business? And a lot of people are going to be taking precautions in their businesses ahead of getting to January, which means that whereas a lot of companies, if they are going to have planned layoffs, have waited until January previously, if this sentiment survey is right, you could actually see a lot of those companies starting to pull the trigger before the holidays, which kind of stinks twice for a lot of people. All the more reason why, as we just run into this train wreck that's coming, this slow-moving Austin Powers-like train wreck in January, waiting until after Election Day, so many consequences from that, even if the politicians agree and get something that doesn't result in us going over the cliff in January, so much of the damage will have already been done because companies are planning right now and today for the rest of the year and really want to be able to plan for next year. A couple things here real quick. This is interesting. FedEx, going to be getting into the PC repair business. It might sound a bit odd, but here's the thing. They have done their own PC repair in all their FedEx stores around the country and around the world for years. And it dawned on them, if we have professionals that are capable of keeping up with our own IT and our own computer repair needs, why don't we just start handling it for our customers? So here's the way it would work. You would take your computer or computer-like devices into a FedEx store. They would go ahead and repair them, a la a Best Buy Geek Squad situation. And then, when you're ready to get it back, free shipping back to your house. See, that would be the benefit. You wouldn't have to go pick it up again. It would just be delivered. They are FedEx, after all, back to you. And they're saying that they would have immediate delivery. It would be like same day or next day, depending upon the time that your computer was repaired. So I could actually see this working, though it's an odd line of business for a shipping company. And pollution. You got to go to the physical cheat sheet for this, but I'm not kidding. There's actually been detergent that's been invented just by putting pants on, stepping out in the world. You could be reducing pollution. The folks who have created this say that when they make it commercially available, they believe that you wearing pants, walking around during the course of a day, will offset the pollution from one vehicle. There you go. It's a cheat sheet for today. Enjoy yours. See you tomorrow.